Okay, as you can see, I'm sitting on a high-headed, happy barrel horse using the same gear that the owner uses. This little horse has trouble. He runs really good, but he runs on his front end. He has a tendency to hit barrels once in a while because he drops in, and he swings his ass when he turns because he's turning on his front end. And we're going to use him as an example for how to pass level 1 in IPHDA, just because he will not accept my hands. And this is what we're going to work on, is just getting him to accept my hand, so now I can start to soften him and get him to walk forward into my hand. Alright, I'm just going to ride around here and explain what I'm doing. What we're going to do is we're not going to worry about forward right now too much, as long as I can keep his feet moving. And I'm just going to keep working on his face. The reason I'm using his whole headgear and his bit is because I want to show that it's not the headgear that makes the difference, it's how we use it. Okay, and I've talked about, if you've watched the first part of these videos, you've seen me talk about steady pressure on one rein, massaging on the other, and all I'm doing here right now is just irritating him enough until, just messing with his bridle, getting him to accept it, so he'll relax into it. When I feel him relax his jaw a little bit, then I'll start to push forward with my leg. And we'll see if we can't get him to start walking forward with a little better cadence and a little acceptance to our hand. When we have a horse that just resists as soon as you touch their face, as soon as they do that, you let go, because we want their reaction to be soften and go long. You notice how it did not take long for him to say, oh, okay, as long as I stay down here, you're not going to pull on me. Now I'm going to start to take a hold. And I'm going to start pushing with my legs a little bit. Trying to get him to go forward now and soften. There we go. All this is patience and just not being aggressive. He's so used to having it hurt, or when you pull on him, that he's saying, I just want to, as soon as he starts to trust my hand and he understands my legs are just to mean go forward, we start to relax. Right now he's awfully stiff in the rib cage, is why he's not being able to stride forward. But it's starting to get a little better. I'm going to feel him take a big old breath here in a little bit. We keep riding this horse like this and get him going forward into our hands a little bit, instead of always bracing against them, we're going to be able to get rid of this tie down. We're going to be able to teach him how to use his hind end when he turns. And this is an older horse too, and this will just show you can change a horse no matter how bad their habits have gotten. It just takes more time and persistence on your part as the rider. Okay, we'll go the other way. See, every time we change something, we got to start all over again. And that's what we're going to keep doing with this horse, is we're just going to start trying to get him to relax in both sets of circles. And then we're going to have to work on getting him to relax while we change circles. Okay, you notice his strides got shorter because he's all stiff. Hard for a horse to run when they're stiff like this. And yes, you can let go of their face and make them run, but then when you go to take a hold of their face to guide them around the barrel, good boy. Everybody just notice what he just did there? He said, okay, fine, I remember. And watch when he starts to relax, watch the difference in his stride. You know, he's starting to stride out nice and relaxed now. Okay, we're going to try a little bit. We're going to try a little bit of trot and see what happens here. Notice how I'm not chirping, I'm just squeezing. I want him to understand my legs mean go forward, so I'm just squeezing till he trots. Then my legs are going to go in rhythm with that trot. My hands are going to start working in rhythm again, and we're going to get him to relax to the trot. Notice how at this point, I'm not worried about arc or anything else. All I'm worried about is getting him to go forward and soften to my hands. Just to accept my hands is all he has to do. Instead of resist against them, he has to accept them. Oh, and everybody see his back lift up and him starting to stride forward for one stride right there. That was pretty cool. I bet he's never used that back muscle in his life. Now I just got to get him to do it 2 or 3 more times in a row. Start to develop that top line muscle so that he can do this without getting strained. But first we have to get him to accept their hands. There we go, another half stride. Hope he do it on this side so you guys can see it. That was a full stride there. I don't know if you can see it from the angle on the camera. That was a half a stride. We're getting there. That was pretty good for this horse. We're probably going to keep riding this horse. We're going to show him to you a few more times over his progression here in the next few weeks. When next time you see him, we won't have the tie down on and we won't have this little barrel racing get up on him. But I wanted to do it today, the first time on this horse with this setup, to show everybody that it's not the headgear, it's not the bit, it's how you use the gear you've got. I'm going to put him in a little lighter bit so I can massage on him and mess with his face just a little bit more without causing him any discomfort. And we'll see where he goes from here. But I was kind of happy with the way he started to accept and go forward. Hopefully everybody saw the change in tempo and the cadence and him driving forward. We got a long way to go, but we're going to get there.